Welcome back to our podcast, everybody, from Dubuque, Iowa. We've been talking about discipline. And at the moment of discipline, it's really important that you relate to your children the right way, that it's administered in the right way. It's really important that, well, let's read Ephesians 6, verse 4.
Okay. It says this, "And you fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in the training and the admonition of the Lord."
It really struck me one day, that word, don't provoke your children, don't frustrate your children. And I came across a word, remonstrance. And remonstrance, what it means is a continual fault finding. And a lot of times, because us dads are so busy working and everything, that seems like a lot of times the only time we take with our children are when we have to correct something. And so all of our communication with the kids become, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, this is wrong, that, fix this, fix that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all they hear from us. And we provoke them, we make them mad, we frustrate them. And
this says exasperate, right? Or you said exasperate. It's kind of that feeling like I can't do anything right.
There you go. Yeah.
And we don't want to put that feeling in our kids, that identity in our kids, that I can't do anything right, I can never please my mom or my dad.
Yeah.
We don't want to have that, for them to go through life with that, I'm never good enough.
Yeah, so sometimes we have to sit down and think before we even get to the point of administering the discipline or engaging them about it. We gotta get our own heart right. And where am I? How am I? Am I good? Before we get in there. And then and never argue with your child when you get in there. It's just, you get into a shouting match or an arguing match with your child, you've just left your position.
You lost.
Yeah, you've lost, because you've lowered yourself to the point of being a peer with them. You've elevated them in their thinking, their thoughts, their opinions, their perspectives are just as valid as yours, and authority has left the building.
Yeah.
And so you've got nothing. So you just walk away, put it down, walk away. And
did not.
Yeah.
No, that's not an argument for a parent to have.
No. Don't call them names. That's not the Christian way. That's not like Jesus. He didn't call people names and belittle them and put them down and insecurity and lousy self-images and things like that. That's not what you're endeavoring to do. You're endeavoring people to feel godly and good about themselves, so they can make good choices and healthy, powerful things. And also, you want to talk to them ahead of time. Ephesians 6:4 says to bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord.
Yeah.
Earlier it says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right.
Yeah.
Honor your father and mother," which is the first commandment with promise. And so you want to be able to bring them back to the promise.
Right.
Remind them of those things.
But they can't know it if you haven't told them.
That's right.
Right. Kids don't know necessarily that what they're doing is wrong unless you have somehow instructed them and showed them what's right.
That's right. So each time you come to the point of discipline, if you're having to spank, for instance, or you're disciplining them, you want to remind them of what the Word says. You could even say, I really don't feel good about this. I'm not happy about this. I'm not doing this because I'm happy. This is not about me. This is about you living long. That's what the promise is, that you would live long in the earth. It would go well for you. So, son, you see how God says this? This is how it works. So this is why Daddy needs to discipline, is because I want you to grow up and have a good life. I want you to live long on the earth and prosper. And that's why I'm doing this. Don't apologize for it.
No.
You're not apologizing, but it's okay to express the fact that you're grieved at having to do this. God is not delighted when he has to bring discipline to his people, but he does it because he loves them. And so that's part of the nurture and admonition of the Lord.
Yeah.
And like one person said, where does a child learn to be sensitive and apologize? It's by seeing it modeled by the parent. So let me just encourage you, if you are out of hand, if you did get out of hand, if you yelled, if you screamed, if you did something just to just to get your pound of flesh back because you were really ticked off, well, you did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And so humbly and genuinely apologize to your child, and they'll receive it, they'll forgive you, but be real, be authentic. And not only will that help restore the relationship between you and them, it also helps them to learn how
Yeah.
they should relate to other people. So that's just a few tips about when it does come to administering discipline. Teach them ahead of time. Show them the promise ahead of time. So, if they let them know the expectations ahead of time, so when you try to hold them accountable, it's legitimate.
Yes.
Yeah, let them know in advance, and then love them while you're doing it. Let them see your heart, but by all means, administer the discipline. And finally, back your word. Don't be saying, when we get home, you're getting spanked. When we get home, you're getting spanked. And never follow through. All they learn from that is they have to just keep you awake or distracted, and they can get off the hook. They don't learn
Yeah.
what they need to. So we love you. Have a great week. And again, the Lord give you wisdom and understanding. You're doing this thing, and you're going to do a good job. Love you. Bye now.
Bye.